So the news is that King Charles has been diagnosed with cancer. I hope that all you people outside these islands will indulge me in my wish to spend a few minutes talking about that. At least I'm not going to be monetizing this, so it's one video you'll be able to watch without ads. I'm Graniopteryx. I do hope for a good outcome for our king, but however long he survives, I'm sure his duties will be curtailed one way or the other. So after all those years of waiting in the shadow of the late Queen, he now waits in the shadow of the Grim Reaper, a shadow which is bound to reduce his activity, whatever the outcome. Meanwhile, I want to remind you of a couple of the things His Majesty did before he ascended to the throne. First of all, he helped stop the march of brutalist architecture and encouraged local building in local styles. This found its iconic expression in a town called Poundbury, which, after a lot of sneering by the wokerati, looking back and all the rest of it, but it's turned out to be a nice place to live, a place where people want to live, a place where people are happy to live. This is what he said about it. When I set out on this venture, I was determined that Poundbury would break the mould of conventional housing development in this country and create an attractive place for people to live, work and play. Many people said that it could never succeed, but I'm happy to say the sceptics were wrong, and it's now a thriving urban settlement alongside Dorchester. After that, there's the Prince's Trust, or maybe that should have come before that. According to Wikipedia, the Prince's Trust is a United Kingdom-based charity founded in 1976 by King Charles III, then Prince of Wales, to help vulnerable young people get their lives on track. It supports 11 to 30-year-olds who are unemployed or struggling at school and at risk of exclusion. Many of the young people helped by the Trust face issues such as homelessness, disability, mental health problems, or trouble with the law. And apart from that, he's used his great influence to found something like 40 charities. I'm talking about proper charities, the sort of thing that actually does some work rather than just providing photo ops for the founders. I do disagree with King Charles's climate change ideas, but there's no doubt that he takes his responsibility as head of state very seriously. And perhaps we as a people should take him more seriously as well, even if we don't agree with all of his goals. He does embody the state, after all, a state which we should be trying to focus on. I suppose there'll be some rejoicing and mean tweets from those corners of our kingdom with envious hearts. But when I was watching the coronation, I watched it on TV, on the computer. If ever I saw a man absolutely terrified, almost out of his wits, by what was happening to him, it was King Charles. When he stood in the full regalia, admittedly all those robes and that crown do weigh quite a bit. They are quite heavy, but it didn't look to me like it was the clothing that was weighing him down. At that moment, I became acutely aware how seriously he was taking the responsibility of his leadership. He was approaching that with the sort of seriousness that very few people seem to hold nowadays for anything. And frankly, it wouldn't surprise me at all if the stress of that hadn't actually triggered the cancer in the first place. But that's just a layman's guess. Anyway, I'm not monetizing this video because this subject isn't something I should be making money out of. Similarly, if you feel like making any sort of a donate to the Curie Foundation. I'll leave a link in the description to their donation site. That's for the UK, of course. You're very welcome to donate to a British charity wherever you are. But if you're elsewhere in the world, you might wish instead to donate to another local cancer charity. You'll have to find those yourself. But think about it. You never know. You may need it yourself someday. Till next time.